The second Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump gets underway today. The president is accused of inciting insurrection at the Capitol last month. Joining me now live is Abdul Hakim Shabazz. He's the editor at Indy Politics. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, let's jump in. Yesterday, Donald Trump's attorneys filed a 78-page memorandum ahead of the trial starting today. So I want to get your key takeaways in terms of the president's defense and then the prosecutor's response to that.
Well, in a nutshell, what the president's lawyers are saying is that the Congress does not have the ability to impeach a non-sitting president. Donald Trump is no longer president. The impeachment process was to go after a sitting president. And so in a nutshell, they're saying since Donald Trump is no longer president, he can't be impeached. It's a pretty cut and dry response. Now, the Democrats are saying, yes, the president can be impeached for actions that he was taking as president, because with the impeachment president, they can bar him from taking office again. Now, the law on this is kind of unclear because there are strong arguments actually on both sides, so it'll make these impeachment hearings interesting to watch.
Yeah, for one of many reasons. The former president's team has said he will not testify. Not exactly a surprise there, but could that change?
It's possible. With Donald Trump, all things and anything is possible. Right now, the Trump was reading this morning to get ready for an interview that Donald Trump has actually found that sometimes being silent actually helps. And so he's got a lot of advice, a lot of close advisors saying, hey, don't snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, and don't talk and just be quiet and let the lawyers do their job.
So we'll see if that happens. The trial starts today. What happens today in the first day? Is it more procedural? What do you expect today? And then how long do you expect this one to last?
I expect the trial to last probably about a couple of weeks is what Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer have kind of sort of agreed to what they believe. Today it's going to be basically a procedural matter. It's going to be a vote to say whether Congress has jurisdiction, in other words, the ability to hear the case. That I expect to break down mostly along party lines. Maybe some of those 5 Republicans may join the Democrats, but that'll be sort of our first implication of what the vote will look like when it comes down to an impeachment proceeding.
Yeah, and talk a little bit more about that. We were talking about the voting just there. Do you expect any Republicans to vote to convict?
Right now, there are probably about 5 Republicans. Mitch McConnell, Pat Toomey, maybe of Pennsylvania, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, maybe a couple others. Then the rest, it sort of depends on what evidence is presented, and do any Republicans sort of change their minds.
Now, it's believed by many that conviction here is unlikely. Many people like Nancy Pelosi say the ultimate goal, though, here is to keep Donald Trump from ever holding office again, which is something you touched on earlier. What will we see to that end after this trial?
I think it really depends on the votes. Can Democrats find 17 Republicans to vote with them to impeach the president? That's basically what it boils down to. And right as of now, I don't see that happen. Now, of course, this is a trial. Anything can happen, so we'll be kind of keeping an eye out for that. But as of today, I don't think the votes are there to impeach the president.
All right, Abdul Hakim Shabazz, I assume we are talking to you about this in the days and weeks ahead as this moves forward. Thanks for getting up early with us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.